Imagine you're sitting down with a close friend, both of you sipping on your favorite coffee, chatting about life and its endless pursuits. It's here in these quiet moments that we often stumble upon truths that stick with us. One such truth, deeply rooted in the wisdom of Stoicism, is the idea of working quietly on ourselves and our goals. Stoics believed in focusing on what we can control, our actions and responses, not on the external validation that society so often urges us to chase. This is about tuning out the applause and accolades, which can be fleeting and superficial, and instead tuning into a deeper sense of purpose and personal excellence. You see, we live in a bustling world where success is often measured by the noise it makes on social media and the ripples it sends through our circles. But what if there was a different path, a quieter, perhaps more challenging route, that takes dedication and inner resolve to stay true? What if, instead of broadcasting every little success or setback, we leaned into the Stoic practice of keeping our eyes fixed on our own paper, so to speak, and really got down to the business of crafting a life of meaning and substance away from the prying eyes of a watchful public? This approach isn't about shunning recognition, it's about redefining what truly matters. It's about working in silence, not as a way to hide our efforts, but as a way to strengthen them, free from the distractions and distortions that come with constant external feedback. The Stoics were big on self-sufficiency and believed that the best kind of progress, the kind that is sustainable and genuine, happens in the quiet moments when we're fully engaged in our tasks, not when we're glancing sideways to see who's applauding. So, let's explore this idea together. How embracing the quiet Stoic work ethic might just be the secret to achieving lasting success that feels as good on the inside as it perhaps looks to the outside world. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple, free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button and share the video with others who are on the same path with you. Let's discuss why and how the silent pursuit of excellence can transform not just what you do, but who you are. In a world where every achievement, big or small, seems to demand an audience, there's a profound strength in choosing a different path. Stoicism teaches us the value of focusing on our own actions and virtues rather than seeking external validation. This philosophy, grounded in self-discipline and resilience, resonates deeply when we consider the benefits of working hard in silence. It's not about hiding your light under a bushel. Rather, it's about ensuring that your light burns brighter by not wasting energy on seeking applause. When you decide to focus on silent work, you embrace the essence of what Stoicism is all about, the pursuit of personal excellence, regardless of who's watching. This can be incredibly liberating. Think about the times you felt pressured to share updates about your life or work just to feel relevant or appreciated. Now, imagine a life where your actions aren't dictated by these pressures, where you can dive deep into your projects, your personal growth, or even your daily routines without the distraction of crafting a narrative for an audience. In this space, your mind is clearer, your intentions purer, and your focus sharper. Moreover, working in silence aligns with the Stoic practice of turning inward and valuing inner wealth over external riches. By cultivating a strong inner dialogue and reducing reliance on external feedback, you build a kind of mental and emotional resilience that is rare in our hyper-connected world. This doesn't mean you never share your achievements or collaborate with others, but it does mean that you choose when and how to share, ensuring that your work speaks for itself and isn't just a means to garner likes or praise. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius often emphasize the importance of working quietly on oneself as a form of self-mastery. He wrote extensively about the distractions of life in the public eye and advocated for a life lived with virtue as its own reward. When you apply this to modern work ethics, you realize that much of what we do can be more effective when done quietly, without the constant interruption of needing to present our progress. We can achieve deeper states of flow, leading to better quality work and more profound satisfaction from our efforts. The impact of working quietly also extends beyond personal development. It allows for a purer form of creativity and innovation. Without the noise of constant feedback, you're more likely to take risks and explore new ideas that you might otherwise dismiss out of fear of public failure. This is the kind of work environment where true innovation thrives, where you can test, fail, and succeed away from the critical eyes of a sometimes unconstructive public. In embracing the quiet path, you also teach yourself to appreciate the intrinsic value of your work. Stoicism doesn't just prepare us to deal with external challenges but also to appreciate the inner rewards of diligence and perseverance. This switch from external approval to internal satisfaction might be challenging at first, but it is incredibly rewarding. When your satisfaction comes from the work itself, from the knowledge that you are living according to your principles and making progress on your terms, you achieve a state of contentment that fleeting applause can never bring. When we start something new, whether it's a fitness regimen, learning a new skill, or launching a business, the initial excitement can often be overshadowed by the sheer enormity of the journey ahead. It's like standing at the base of a massive mountain, looking up and wondering how on earth you'll ever make it to the top. But this is where the beauty of the compounding effect of consistent effort comes in, a principle deeply cherished in Stoic philosophy, which teaches us the power of persistence and the incremental gains that accumulate over time. Stoicism doesn't just encourage us to endure, it invites us to embrace the step-by-step progression toward our goals. It's about understanding that each small effort, each day's work, may seem insignificant in isolation but is, in fact, an essential part of a much larger picture. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of seeing every small act as a contribution to a greater whole. He believed that just as nature's processes are gradual and cumulative, so too should our own efforts be. Think about how a river carves its path through the landscape, not through sudden, forceful actions but by the persistent flow of water over rocks and soil over time. This steady, unrelenting presence transforms even the hardest stone into smooth pebbles. Our efforts, similarly, can shape our lives and careers in profound ways if we remain consistent and patient. This isn't about dramatic overnight success, which, while exciting, is rare and often unsustainable. Instead, it's about the slow and steady accumulation of progress that builds a strong, unshakable foundation for future success. This compounding effect is not just about what you achieve but also about who you become in the process. As you dedicate yourself to consistent work day in and day out, you develop not just skills and knowledge but also character. Stoicism places great importance on this internal development, valuing the virtues of self-discipline, resilience, and courage that arise from committed practice. These are qualities that no external change can bestow upon us, they must be earned slowly and surely through repeated actions. Moreover, consistent effort has a way of teaching us about our own capacities and limits. It forces us to confront our weaknesses and push beyond them but also to recognize and respect our boundaries. This self-knowledge is invaluable, not just in pursuit of specific goals but in all aspects of life. It informs our decisions, shapes our relationships, and deepens our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And let's not forget, the small steps are often more manageable and less daunting than facing the whole journey at once. When you focus on just the next step, not the entire path, you reduce the overwhelm and increase the likelihood of staying the course. Each step then builds on the previous one, creating momentum that can propel you forward even through tough times. Let's take a moment to consider why we do what we do. Is it for the applause, the accolades, or maybe the social media likes? Or is there something deeper driving our actions? This brings us into a conversation about the difference between being motivated by external rewards and being driven by something within ourselves. Stoicism, a philosophy that has offered guidance for centuries, suggests that true satisfaction comes from within, from knowing that our actions align with our deepest values and virtues. In the realm of Stoicism, the focus is always more on personal integrity and virtue than on external rewards. Think about the likes of Marcus Aurelius or Seneca, These were individuals who valued wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation above all else. They weren't working for praise, they were working to become better versions of themselves, to fulfill their own potential in a way that was aligned with the natural order and reason. This intrinsic motivation, doing things for the sake of doing them well and not for some external reward, is what made their teaching so powerful and their lives so impactful. When we shift our focus inward and start acting based on intrinsic motivations, we experience a transformation. Tasks become inherently rewarding, not because of what they might bring us in fame or fortune, but because they help us grow, learn, and contribute. This is what Stoicism teaches us, to find joy in our own progress and in the execution of our duties, no matter how mundane they may seem. There's a profound peace that comes from this kind of motivation, one that external validation can never match. Consider for a moment the artist who paints not to sell or to gain fame but simply because the act of painting fulfills a need within their soul. Or the teacher whose greatest reward is seeing the light of understanding flicker in a student's eyes, not the end-of-year accolades from the administration. This isn't to say that recognition isn't pleasant, it certainly can be. But when it becomes the driving force behind our actions, we risk losing touch with our deeper purposes and values. Moreover, external recognition is fleeting. Trends change, audiences move on, and what was once applauded may no longer hold value. If our self-worth and motivation are tied to these external factors, they become just as unstable and fleeting.